Okay. Welcome everyone. I will call this to order at 5:45 p.m. I'll start with territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, the Quick, and the Platte nations. Unceded means that the territories have never been handed over, so that the division by these nations and we're currently situated on occupied territory. Moving on to roll call attendance, starting with computing science.
Hi, I'm here.
Sorry, did you say I am here? I am here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Engineering science.
Hi, my name's Adam. All my access needs are met.
Thank you. Microtronics.
Hi everyone, my name's Aiden, and all my needs are met.
Thank you. Software systems.
Hi, Fabian here. All my access needs are met.
Sustainable energy. Actually, I think this person said. Yeah, he needs a chance. Yeah. COGS, cognitive science. Cognitive science. Criminology.
My name is Henry. He pronouns him, his. My accents are just fine.
Thank you. Econ.
Hello, my name is Hamza. My access needs are met.
Thank you. English.
Hi, my name is Fatima, and all my access needs are met. Thank you.
Thank you. GSWS. Indigenous studies. Indigenous studies. Okay. ISSA.
I'm here. He, him pronouns. Accessibility needs are met.
Thank you. Linguistics.
Hello, my name is Mary. My pronouns are they, them, and all my access needs have met.
No. Philosophy.
Hi, they, she pronouns. All my access needs are met.
Thank you. Poli-sci. Political science. Okay. I don't know what to mean by that. SAS.
Names are your pronouns are he, him, his, all my access needs are met.
Thank you. Gender studies. World languages. World languages. Bass.
Hi everyone, my name is Meha Sidhu. I go by she, her pronouns, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. Interactive arts. Interactive arts. ESA.
Hi, my name is Shivali. My pronouns are she, her, and all my access needs are met. Thank you.
ESSU.
Hi everyone, I'm Grayson.
Hi, I'm Kangsha.
Sorry,
I heard TSSU. My bad.
Sorry, ESSU.
Hi everyone, Grayson Bark. He, him pronouns. All my access needs are met. Thank you.
Archaeology.
Hi, my name is Hi, my name is Mina Perry. My pronouns are she, her, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. Geography. Geography. All access needs are met. Okay, thank you. Renton?
Hi, my name is Ethan. Pronouns he, him, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. Health science? BNSS? Biomedical physiology?
Hi, my name is Maria. My pronouns are she, her, and all my access needs have been met.
Data science?
Hey, Pranay, pronouns he, him, all access needs are met.
You, data science. Mathematics? Mathematics? Okay, MBB?
Hi everyone, my name is Ariana, pronouns she, her, and all needs are met.
Thank you. Sus? Catherine, share pronouns on transit, but otherwise access needs are met. Thank you. DNA?
So hi, my name is
Thank you. I don't know if I saw FNMISA. OOC.
Hi, my name is Adriana coming Teacher. The pronouns are she and they, and my access needs are met.
Thank you. Soka.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel. My pronouns are he, him, and all access needs are met.
Thank you. Women's Center.
Hi, my name is Noor. My pronouns are she, her, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. RJ.
My name is Salika, and my pronouns are she, her. Access needs are met.
Thank you. As a her, but you didn't put in mind. Thank you. Moving on to the execs. Oh, no, they're oh, TSSU.
I'm Kangsha, pronouns she, the access needs are met.
Okay, moving on to the executive committee. I believe there's regrets from GP equity. GP events.
Hi, this is Chatranj. He, him, his. My all access needs are met.
VP external.
Joel, he, him pronouns, access needs are met.
VP finance.
Hi, my name's Simmer. Pronouns she, her. All access needs are met.
Thank you. VP internal.
Sam, pronouns he, him. All access needs met.
Thank you. VP UA.
Or you're off again, bro. I can order me.
Hi, VP University, PM pronouns Rishu. All access needs are met.
Thank you. President, EMS access needs are met. I believe that is not. Mathematics. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Be resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. And hopefully, as you can see on the agenda, there's a couple from council and some of the committees. Any amendments, suggestions, comments? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to seek unanimous consent for these. Okay, that is carried unanimously. Sorry, including all the regrets that needed to be ratified as well. Okay, moving on to the adoption of the agenda. Be resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. I move. I need a seconder.
Internal.
If internal seconds. Floor is open for list and amendments. Yeah, but we still need to list. Deep internal.
Deep internal. Yep. I have 3 amendments. Four amendments. I've already sent them in to the vice chair, so they are. One is adding on a motion to fund DNA meetings fund captioning for DNA meetings. Something we've been doing for a while, just larger scale motions that has to be passed by the council, and then re-announcements on upcoming events and campaigns.
Okay, I'm guessing you move. And I second. Any objections to these amendments? Seeing none, amendment is carried. Any other lists and amendment? Okay, I'm gonna assume that is it. Okay, I'm gonna seek unanimous consent to adopt the agenda as amended. Okay, seeing no dissent, agenda is carried. Moving on to presentations, for welcome concert from VP Events. Chitranj, floor is yours. I think you might have to stop sharing because I don't think you guys are. Actually, I don't know if you
Just give me 1 second.
Okay, this is the calling. Yeah. 2 minutes. Do you hear me? Oh, never mind. I guess.
My screen is visible. Is my screen visible? If anybody can confirm.
Yes.
Perfect. So hi everyone. This is Chitranj, your VP Events, and I'm here to present in front of the council the proposal for the Fall Welcome Concert 2024. And so this event is scheduled to be on September 20th, 2024. The location we are looking at right now is on the SFU Burnaby campus itself at the south parking lot. The event is going to be capped at 2,500 attendees, although we are expecting around 2,100 attendees, and that's what our initial budget is made upon. Moving on, the primary objectives of the concert is to engage the community and welcome both new and returning students, promote the SFU spirit, and also foster a sense of community and belonging among attendees, both that are coming newly to SFU and people and members who are returning. Additionally, the event will feature renowned artists to enhance the overall experience of the students. Moving on to basic logistics. This is planned to happen on September 20th, 2024, the third weekend of the fall term, starting at 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. The venue, as I said, is going to be the south parking lot, which is going to be secured with 8 feet fencing. If anybody has been to one of the whole events that have happened in the past 2 years, that's a similar layout that we are going to be using this year for the fall welcome concert. The security is being taken care of by SFU Security along with their third-party provider. We have also considered how facilities are going to be managed. So we will be having third-party vendors come in to settle portable washrooms and sinks along with first aid stations to ensure safety of the attendees and members. We are also going to be serving alcohol at this event. This is going to be managed by SFU itself. This is going to be a restricted licensed beer garden area within the concert, which can be accessed by strict ID checks and 19 plus wristbands that will be provided after the first entrance. Moving on to the ticket sales strategy, we are going to be following a tiered ticket sales strategy. The prices range from $35 for the early bird to $75 for the general public. We do plan to sell the tickets using an online platform, which is either going to be Eventbrite or Bounce. We are already in conversation with both of them to ensure smooth onboarding of the event. And if any issues do occur during the sales, just to have a better contact. Moving on, next we have projected a total of $35,000 in sponsorships. We are looking at 3 major sponsors with monetary value of around $5,000. 5 other sponsors with monetary value of about $2,000, and then about $10,000 in-kind sponsorships. In the past, when this event happened, which it was called the Fall Kickoff, happened all the way from 2013 to 2019, ended because of COVID. We have had Scotiabank, Student Care, Blends among the past sponsors. I will also going to be giving you a quick expense breakdown. So we are going to be spending around a $50,000 budget on the artist itself. This would condense to 1 headliner artist, and then 1 opener artist and 1 closer artist. So that is 3 major artists that would be that are based, all 3 of them to be renowned, but the headliner is going to be the bigger audience kind of situation. The staging is projected at $25,000. The security is projected at $8,000. Venue, fencing, and facilities, which includes the rent that is to be paid to SFE for the parking, the fencing, the cleaning charges is projected to be around $11,000. Production and ridership, which means our cost to run the stage, our cost to have the artists come in from different cities and host them, expenses such as hotels and travel costs, that would be projected to around $10,000. The miscellaneous charge, which is projected at around $8,100, includes the contingency, which is for anything that can happen during the event or any expenses that do go over the budgeted amount. The marketing and sales promotion budget is set to $3,750. This includes paid ads on Instagram as well as other social media channels, posters, amongst other things. And then the first aid, which would be probably St. John's from Vancouver. They will be bringing over an ambulance and a first aid personnel as required, according to the number of attendees. Our budget do forecast a total revenue of $146,250 and expenses of $121,300, which would result in a net revenue of around $25,000. I have also worked on a worst case scenario in case the attendees are not as, we do not reach the number of attendees that are projected in the budget. The worst case scenario, we will be making a total revenue of $93,500. That also decreases the amount of sponsorships we get along with the ticket sales. And our expenses will amount to about $108,000, which in accordance with the amount of people we are hosting, the expenses would vary and would decrease around 15%. That would cost us around $14,350 for hosting the event in case only 75% of the tickets are sold, which is the worst case scenario. But according to past events and looking at student engagement over the years, the ticket sales targets are very much achievable, and we are looking forward to a very successful event that will be hosted this year. In summary, the Fall Welcome Concert is promoted for enhancing student life, promoting campus spirit, and increasing community engagement in general on campus. And financially, we are looking at a revenue possibility of around $25,000. That's about it. I am able to send in the presentation along with the detailed budget in the chat for counselors and members to review, and we can move forward from there. Just give me a couple of seconds.
Okay, thank you, Shikran. I'm guessing the floor is open for questions and all that. I already see a couple of lists in the room. I see a couple of lists. I think then I saw Joe and then Iko. So yeah, Adriana, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll start off with my biggest sort of thought/concern. So you were talking about estimates that we were going to have for expected revenue based off of student attendance. And you mentioned looking at previous events such as fall kickoff that we've ran for evidence basing our assumption of around 2,100 total attendance. However, are we only looking at data pre-pandemic? And if we are, do we have comparable data from other student organizations running similar scale of events post-COVID to be able to base that on? Because if we're only looking at pre-COVID data, I would be very worried about whether or not that's applicable now.
Of course, that is a very valid question. Direct response. To that, when I say past events, I do mean post-COVID. So the past events that I refer to are the past two similar sized events that have happened on campus, which were actually catered to a specific demographic, which I referred to in my presentation as well, Holy. They both had, the first one in 2023 had an attendance of 700, I think 750-ish people. And then the one that happened this year had a total ticket sales of around 900 tickets. So that is only catering to one demographic, as I said, but this is an event that caters to a larger demographic, focuses on all students, is not only catered to 19 plus, is not only catered to one culture or one specific interest. This is something that we want to bring back to welcome students from all different backgrounds. And also adding on, UBC did organized, the AMS at UBC did organize the block party last year, which was very similar in nature, although much larger in scale. They did have 8 artists. We are only projecting 2. And they did have 4,000 plus attendees as well, and which was incredibly successful.
Thank you. Joe?
Chitraj, would you mind walking us through your experience leading these events and what sort of conversations you've had with suppliers to get the projections that you have in your expenses?
Of course. So I'm going to quickly go back just to give you a basic idea of where the numbers have come from. The artists, I've already had word with multiple production companies and multiple people who book artists. This $50,000 budget does give us a good leeway to be booking one major artist and one headliner and 2 artists to open and close. The staging, when I say $25,000, that is like an upper budget. Last Holy that happened 4 months ago in March only had a staging cost of about $14,781, as much as I remember. And that does bring us that this event stage is going to be a bigger, and this is usually the Holy event was capped at 2,000 people as well. But we are looking to get a bigger stage just because this is the flagship event of the year. So the projections have increased to $25,000. Again, this is the upper limit. And security as well. This is in consideration with SFU security. We were charged around $2,800 for the Holy event, which had around 900 people. We do want to keep more security measures because of also the serving of alcohol that's going to happen in the beer garden, along with we do expect that there's going to be a significantly larger percentage of external people as compared to the whole event. Everything else is pretty much just putting numbers onto things, but looking at venue, fencing, and facilities, these are things that have already been projected for. The venue and facilities is a specific charge set by the meeting events and conference services from SFU, and the facilities, The fencing company has also already came back with the quote, so that is already projected on that. And production and ridership is kind of a dicey situation because these are costs that do occur closer to the event. But again, the numbers that I have put in here are already the upper estimates. So there's a very sleek chance that anything would go above these.
Sorry.
That would be it.
Last question. What sort of experiences you've had that make you capable of leading such an event?
So in the past couple of months that I've been VP events, I have already put forward 2 club nights, really successful, both financially and turnout wise. Of course, they are not in comparison to the size of this event, but as the co-president of the Indian Student Federation for the past 2.5 years before I joined SFSS, the VP, we did co-host the Diwali and Holi. That's why I am very aware of how these big events are catered to not be falling into a deficit and at least giving us keeping the expenses to the lower side and generating revenue both in terms of marketing as well as logistics.
Thank you. Adriana, was that a list or a direct response?
Earlier mine was a list.
Okay, go ahead.
So I would like to ask you to walk us through, so you briefly mentioned before that you are considering Scotiabank or already talked to them for the partnership and to sponsor this event. I would love if you could walk me through the conversation that you had, if it's something fixed. Just because we are, I can't say as a council, but at least as a committee from equity and sustainability discussing about other banking options for the future of SFSS, and Scotiabank like sponsoring these kind of events is a large step against our interests. So if you have anything in mind or any mention, I would love if you could walk me through it.
Of course. So as I said, these are past sponsors. These are not the ones that we have already targeted. We do have a list of sponsors that are lined up, which I obviously cannot mention at this point unless it is documented. But rest assured, sponsorships, everything is going to be it's going to be aligned with our IPs.
The follow-up or in depth?
For now, it's it. Thank you.
Adriana?
Oh, yeah. You were talking about the artist budget of 50 grand, and that would allow us to get a headliner, an opener, and a closer. Could you give some examples of the kind of scale of artists that would be within our price range?
Yeah, of course. So for headliners, I am looking at something around the range of Don Toliver, BB No Money, which are pretty famous in our ages right now. Although for the closer and the opener, we do have a wide range because we are still trying to see where does this concert want to go in terms of music taste, because we do want to cater a large demographic. So we want to be doing all kind of rap, hip hop, and R&B at the same time, along with EDM. So it just kind of makes it difficult for artist selection. But just to be on the safer side, the artist selection is gonna come through council at some point in the next month.
Thank you. Then follow-up. I think that's Aiden.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's gonna be like a promo code for like SFSS discount.
So nothing planned out really right now. We do have about 100 tickets that are planned for giveaways through different DSUs and clubs, along with SFSS itself, though.
How do you register for those?
It's going to be online giveaways. So clubs and student unions are going to be promoting on their separate channels on Instagram or whatever they prefer, and you are able to follow the steps and take part in the giveaways.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other list? VP intern?
In the past, there's been concerns about the feasibility of events of this scale. What measures have you taken to ensure that those concerns are dealt with?
In terms of past, I would say in the past when similar sized events were organized pre-COVID, all years except for 2019 did result in a profit. 2019 was a significant expense, I would say, but there were some reasons which catered to that. Specifically, there were many last minute charges that came up along with from sides of SFU as well as third parties. To name a few, ambulance has to be called last minute. Hotels had to be booked last minute. Things like that. But in my budget, I have already projected everything firsthand. Along with that, if you want to see every expense is catered to the amount of tickets we're going to be selling. So these contracts, as they come through, are going to be catered to what our ticket pace is looking at. So we do believe that cutting costs in the midst of the planning is going to be an easy task because of the relationships that I am going to be making with the vendors. And even if we are not able to reach the full sellout position, I think the worst case scenario does play out well.
Sarma has a direct response.
Just to clarify, so you've already built in scalability options in case we don't sell the full tickets?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Is that a list, Adriano, or?
A direct response.
What?
Given that we're in mid-July and this is about 2 months away, there's a lot of theoreticals left here, booking artists, finding sponsors, getting things organized. Do you think that we have enough time before September 20th for all of those things to be in place by then?
I do, in fact. Looking back at my own personal event history, the past 2 club nights that were pretty successful just from this year were only organized within 2 weeks, and promotions, booking of the venue and everything was happening in 2 weeks. They did cater to around the 200 to 250 student population. Looking back at Holi of this year, that was also something that was only done within 40 days. That did cater to a maximum of 1,500 attendees as well. So personally, I have considered everything and I have a lot of things already in place. So I do believe the timeline is pretty tight, but it is a very manageable situation.
Thank you. Archaeology.
Hi, just to be clear, we are not planning on selling any tickets the day of at the door. This will be like all tickets have to be pre-purchased prior to the event, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
VP University. VP University.
I just wanted to remind everybody that I know we're talking about money a lot here. Just wanted to remind everybody that our goal is not to make profit from these events. Yeah, it's nice to have money coming in from these events, but it's the student money that we're catering towards increasing student engagement at the end of the day. And I genuinely believe that the scale of an event which lacks from SFU, like from past couple of years, we've not had an event of this scale. And frankly, our students like to go to UBC and other universities to attend events like this. I think if an exec team and a council that has honestly promised to increase student engagement, I think an event like this is really important, even if at the end of the day we end up incurring a loss of maybe like around, even if we say like $20,000, it's coming from a committee budget at the end of the day, and the budget is allocated for a reason in the first place.
OC.
I would agree with parts of that and strongly disagree with others. I definitely agree that profit is nice, but we don't really need to necessarily make it an active priority. I understand and am totally happy with if this event breaks even. I think breaking even is great, and I don't need the event to make money. However, I don't think that incurring a loss here would be at all responsible given the current financial situation that we're in. I mean, to steal a quote from our VP Finance, I mean, we're cutting dental. To a certain degree, we need to be really, really careful with how we go about things. I definitely think that this event, as we structured it, is responsible and I'm in favor of it going through. But I think a distinction between profit's not important versus a loss is okay must be clear as we're planning out events and programming.
Wishu?
Direct.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I just see like I know like I'm not VP events here, but like the only thing I've like realized from all these meetings is that we don't expect any other committee to make the money back. Like for example, even if my committee is doing something, we spend the money and we don't expect anything back. Like for example, if we're spending money on something, it's being spent. I don't know why the only expectation is from VP events' committee to make money back, when every other committee is spending money just for increasing student engagement. And I think there's like we need to cut this committee a little slack, honestly speaking.
I think I have to go after the counselor, so Chitranj and Simar.
Chitranj and then Simmer.
Just responding to the few comments that were made. Although I do agree with Rishu that losing, like spending around even $15,000 for catering to a 2,000 members is not really an expense to me. It is more of an investment to engagement. But as somebody who comes from a very stringent business background, all of my initiatives have been very stringent in expenses and have been focused on losing or spending the least amount of money. And I can guarantee the council that I, as the lead of this event, will make sure that money goes into the right places.
Thank you. Simmer and then Sam has a direct response as well.
Yeah, just kind of agreeing with the last 2 points that are made. Well, of course, it's not a necessity to make profit. Of course, it would be great to make some, but we also we don't want you guys to see this as us being negative going about a deficit. It's just always good to have a safety net and always good to prepare for the worst situation. Of course, based on our plan, we're pretty confident that we will at least break even, if not make profit. But again, it's a worst case scenario type of situation. Obviously, it's what nobody wants. We're planning to not do that. So that's not something that needs to be too great of a worry until we have to get to that point. And again, we have mitigation strategies.
Sam? Yeah, the direct response.
Yeah, I think the event plan looks good, and I think we should focus on evaluating the event that's in front of us. And we talk about student engagement and other things, but I think we should stay focused on the event, what's in front of us, because I haven't seen a question that Chitranj has been able to answer on this event, and I'm not asking the easiest of questions either. So we see it has a response to every question. Looks like it's a good event. We should focus on that. I'll get lost in tangents.
Cindy?
Yeah, I just think I want to provide a point of clarification. As Sam said, I think we should focus on the event as on a standalone, because getting into the budget, I think there's some misinformation that's or some clarification that could be provided. Just to be clear, the budget that we have is projected for a deficit, isn't money that we actually have. So we weren't projecting to break even, not for this event as a whole. So I think that should be kept in mind when saying that they were allocated accordingly. So if Chitranj here is making a case saying that for this event, there could be a potential profit or break even, I think we should look at it just from the event's perspective, opposed to if we are looking at it as an event as a whole, I think that's a different conversation. So just wanted to make that clarification.
Thank you. Sas?
Yeah, I think I missed it. Where is this gonna come from?
We can't hear you.
Hello?
I
can hear Sas.
We cannot.
So like, I think this is an in-room problem because Chatrash can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you too.
I can hear you
Someone
too.
else on mine try to talk to make sure it's not us.
Just testing.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
it's us there. Sorry guys, give us a second. That's weird. I wanna.
Can you hear us now?
Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to ask, what part of the budget this is coming from?
This is going to be coming from the large scale items, 817/20.
Okay.
Any other? Okay, see one launch. To next presentation. Counselor,
Colonel, you're getting cut.
you guys hear?
We can't really hear you.
No?
Your
Yeah.
video and your mic is cut out.
For Mike, it's in and out.
How about now?
Yeah, your video's on. Can you just talk for like 10 seconds?
What are you doing?
Looks good. Okay.
Okay. Oh, I was just saying, are there any more lists? I don't know if you guys caught that. If not, I'll just move on. Okay, I do not see any other lists. Thank you, Shitranj. I'll move on to the next presentation. And this was submitted by sus counselors, so I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Hi there. I submitted this presentation, but I'm not going to be the one doing it. I also had no part in creating it. So if the forum is on, I'll pass it on to them.
Okay, thank you. Those that are supposed to speak on this, are you present? If so, feel free to speak. Let us know if you need the ability to share your screen.
Yeah, we're present and we don't need to share our screen.
Sorry?
We're present and we don't need to share our screen.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Catherine. Right, so good evening, everyone. My name is Max Young. I am the founder of the forum, and I'm also here with Ashley, who's our current president of our organization. And yeah, thank you guys so much for your time today. But today we're here to just discuss our wish to strengthen the relationship between the forum and the SFSS. And we hope that through today's conversation, we can provide you with a better understanding of our organization and mission, and also pave a way for potential future collaboration in our shared goal of enhancing the SFU community. Now, we understand there may have some misunderstanding or miscommunication between the SFSS and the forum in the past, which is why we aim to establish better communication with the SFSS through this conversation and to improve our transparency in the future. Now, like you, I'm also an SFE student, currently in my final year studying business, and my journey here as a student has been very similar to yours. I was involved in many student-run organizations, and also I'm involved in the SFE community. Now, during my time here, I noticed that while SFE has great education and a large and diverse community, I heard from many of my peers that they feel like SFE is, kind of a commuter school, and they wish that there were more social life and campus culture. With this, I decided to make a change and dedicate my time to creating a platform called the Forum to bring vibrancy to our campus and our community. Now, a bit of a background on what the Forum is for those who aren't familiar with us. So the Forum is a student-run events organization focused on elevating SFU student life and student engagement. Since our inception in April of 2022, we have hosted over 22 events with a combined attendance of over 30,000 SFU students, with our largest event drawing approximately 1,500 attendees. Over the past 2 years, we've forged strong partnership with organizations and companies such as Flair Airlines, Red Bull, Wakewater, Blueprint Events, and AMS UBC, just to name a few. These collaborations has enabled us to provide extensive media and marketing materials, enhancing brand awareness among SFE students. And through our social media platform, we have given away approximately $8,000 in prizes, further engaging our community. Through our journey, we have received immense support from the SFU community, enabling us to continuously improve on our events and initiatives. And I'm proud to say that we have made a noticeable and positive impact on the student engagement here at SFU. So the forum has become sort of a recognizable name for most undergraduate students, and our love for the SFU community drive us to continue to make positive impacts. And I believe with the potential cross collaboration and by supporting each other, the forum as an SFSS, we believe that we can achieve more together. While we are not an official student organization under the SFSS, we are a student-run initiative that is 100% self-funded through our events, and we do not seek profit. Our team of dedicated volunteers invest countless hours into our events and our projects, and we all have a goal of making SFU a better place, which I believe aligns with SFSS goals as well. And we aim to provide positive experience to SFU students. Now, again, we're here to seek the support of the SFSS and alignment with our initiatives, as we believe we share a common goal. We want to have a better understanding of SFSS stance and processes to ensure that we can work collaboratively and we can follow your procedures towards our common goal. And our common goal of enhancing the SFU student engagement and improving student life and fostering a stronger sense of community, we believe we can create events on and off campus that are inclusive and engaging to all SFU students. By establishing a strong relationship with the SFSS, we can collaborate effectively with other SFSS clubs and student organizations to create more events for all students. These events will not only further enhance student life, but also contribute to a more vibrant and connected campus community, something that I have always longed for. And yeah, thank you for your time, and we're very excited about the potential for future collaborations and the positive impact that we can achieve together on the SFU campus. We love to gain a general consensus within the SFSS on the possible collaboration with SFSS in the future, with SFSS, SFSS clubs, student unions, and ways we can further our common goal. We'll love to understand what future steps can be taken to further strengthen our relationship. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Max. Painful, and it's that there's two.
Emmanuel, you're getting cut again.
We have some latency. I will still hear. No. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, it's a bit choppy.
About now, nothing.
Still choppy, and I think your camera's off again.
Okay. Hello?
How about you just turn off the camera to push the bandwidth toward the audio?
Now?
Say something.
Can you hear me?
No.
Addition to how about now? Hello?
Yo.
It's better.
Now it's okay, but it's echoing.
Just use this.
Okay. Do you guys? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I
better now.
We're
Better
good.
now.
Okay. While we'll get that fixed, sure. While we'll get that fixed, I'll just use this for now. I hope everyone online can hear me clearly. I was just saying, thank you to Max, for presenting, and I was just saying the floor is open for list and but I see a list from Rishu, so Rishu. Yeah, my thing was because at the end of the day, Forum is an external organization. We are in a tight budget so like our priority will be supporting our own clubs and our own student organizations, and the other part is if we are to collaborate with forum, the liability that comes upon us is how are we planning to work towards that, because I don't think we as an organization want to take that big of a liability for
Yeah.
anything that isn't strictly about the SFSS.
Yeah, thank you for your question. It's a great question. So I'll address both points. So first and foremost, we're not seeking funding from the SFSS. Like I mentioned previously in my presentation, we're funded 100% through our events. However, we are seeking just building a stronger relationship on collaborative efforts, and creating events together as a joint initiative. And second point, and the point of liability. So when we do host events, typically the liability falls within the venue when we host nightclub events. So we serve purely as a marketing entity, legally speaking, and the venue takes on the liability and insurance. However, we in all other events we do also get liability insurance, and the liabilities typically will fall on us. So there shouldn't be any liability on the SFSS.
Just wanted to again, or is it pretty bad?
No, it's bad on this laptop.
Okay.
No, it's just choppy.
Okay.
I would suggest just use Henry's laptop again.
Yeah.
Turn the audio off.
Just turn off the audio on yours. Yeah. Thank you. Could you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Rishi, did you actually have a list, or was that just for testing, Cindy?
Oh, I had a list.
Okay. You could use your.
Can I? Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, yeah, so I just want to clarify a few things.
Of course.
If a lot of clubs and student unions have their own marketing coordinators or folks, what is the intent of having forum participate here? And I think we've had multiple conversations before, so I think there are paths forward, but just in terms of, as Rishu mentioned, liability, there are a few ways we can work around this, but I wanted to make that clear for folks.
Right. So in regards to the club's marketing coordinators, when we collaborate with clubs and student unions, we're not depriving students of the opportunity to gain experience. We're simply providing some of our expertise in events logistics as well as marketing, and helping them making these events happen. As example, through some of our past collaborations, the clubs actually put in their fair share of work, but we simply through these collaborations, we're able to make these events bigger. Sometimes clubs don't have the marketing power to host bigger scale events. However, with collaboration, we're able to make them happen and also guide these clubs through these marketing challenges and help these events to become even better. But we're not depriving them of the opportunity.
Yeah, just along those lines then, just because you are an external group and you are an event planning group, not just a marketing one, from my understanding, right? I think as discussed, like a few things that can happen is that Forum can organize events on campus as an external organization that would have to be funded through Forum. Forum could do their own events off campus. You can collaborate with student groups, but they cannot use their SFSS names. And then in that case, student groups would have to do their own events without our staff help, and they would have to rely on your insurance and not the SFSS insurance. And then once again, yeah, the only issue is then they cannot use their name if they're offline. And of course, if they do sign any agreement with you or they're working in collaboration with you, those are agreements that have to come back and be run through our president.
100%. Yeah. And we're totally okay with signing agreements and contracts, whatever you guys need to make it work.
Okay. Thanks.
I got a direct.
Okay. Shidran. Actually, I think okay. Yeah, I see a couple of direct response. Shitranj and then Simmer. And then I'll go back to the list later for your Shitranj.
So the forum, you guys mentioned a lot of the word collaboration in your presentation. So let's say clubs are already doing their own things and they have their own events planned, everything's happening. But what does the forum as a third party student group provide these student groups, student clubs and student unions that they cannot achieve themselves?
Yeah, great question. So kind of along the lines with what I said earlier, student clubs, we don't want to deprive student clubs of the experience of organizing these events. Me personally, I definitely gain a lot of skills and experience from organizing events through the forum. However, with our collaboration, I think the main thing that we can help achieve is making bigger events together, right? If the clubs can do a 300 people event by themselves, we much rather have a joint initiative and make a bigger event, bringing more engagement and better events to the SFU community, just making these events bigger through our marketing and events organizing expertise.
Fair enough. Simmer, you have a direct response?
Yeah, you kind of did just answer my question in your previous response, but from what I understand, a lot of the logistics from your presentation looks like they're covered from the club. A lot of the marketing is covered by you guys. What would our role be in this that is additional? And like, if we are collaborating on this, how does the collaboration look as in potential profits, expenses? Like, what does that look like when we're working together for something like this? For example, if we use clubs nights as an event.
Right. Sorry. Are you referring to a direct collaboration between the forum and the SFSS?
Yeah, like if we were to go ahead with a collaboration and then that would be two parties alongside whatever venue we're doing it with, how would that look?
Right. I think that will depend event by event. And then we will definitely we'll sit down and talk about what responsibility falls within which party. And typically we do like a straight revenue split between, with the clubs. So I think a similar model will work with the SFSS.
Yeah, okay. And I'm just a little, because my original concern was the fact that if logistics are covered, if marketing is covered, if the main portions are covered, what would our staff be doing and what would our execs be adding to this?
100%. Like it's not, we wouldn't say it's cover 100% by the forum. Is we frame it more when we work with these clubs, it's more of a joint initiatives. We have weekly meetings and then we will plan out these logistics together. So everything is a joint effort. And if we were to collaborate with the SFSS, it will be a joint effort. Executives as well as the staff will definitely put their input in and we'll work on it together.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Jeffrey? Oh no, Jeffrey, direct response. Okay. Oh, this is a list. Yeah. Okay. Jeffrey, go ahead.
Okay, hello. So you mentioned doing helping groups achieve bigger events with better engagement. Do you have any examples of boosting clubs into bigger events with bigger engagement?
Yeah, 100%. In the past we worked with clubs like CAC. So with that in mind, without before the forum, I think they were hosting like 300 people events, and through our collaboration, we were able to achieve that 1,500 attendee event, and we reinvest pretty much all of the funds and revenue back into our events to make it bigger and better. And I think most of the attendees definitely really enjoyed those events, and I think it had a positive impact on the SFP community.
Jeffrey, was that it, or did you have?
Yeah, sorry, does that answer your question?
Okay, cool. Shitranj, now back to your list.
Thank you. This is kind of a long question, actually. The forum has a history of organizing events that are generally catered to audience that's 19 plus.
Yeah.
Although our student society's mandate is to try to have the events that cater to every member, although we do host events that are specific to 19 plus, but our mandate, and especially for clubs, does border around including more and more people, various demographics. Do you guys as an organization only host events that are 19 plus and promote alcohol, or do you guys as an organization are gonna be pushing towards a more inclusive event structure?
100%, 100%. I do recognize most of our events has been 19 plus. However, we do want to make a push to have all ages and include all SFU students. That is our ultimate goal. However, it's just, with BC law, the legal age to enter nightclubs are 19 plus, and most of our events has been at nightclubs. And however, I do want to mention that one of our past events in June, we did a boxing event, which was all ages, and also which is why we want to have a collaboration with SFSS, so we can be able to book on-campus venues to have those all ages events.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yep, the question was answered.
Okay, thank you. Moving
We
on.
do have a list from CSSS counselor. Sorry.
Okay. MBV? Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I just have a quick question regarding collaborations, especially with DSUs. Some DSUs do prefer to keep their Instagram pages a little bit more on the professional side. And I know you really emphasized in your presentation that the forum acts as more of a marketing platform for these events. What are your expectations moving forward, and how would that impact the total turnout if you were to change your marketing style in collaboration with these DSUs? I was looking at some of the previous videos that you had from your most recent event, and I'm not sure how that would fly by, especially with the faculties being involved, and especially with us being so close-knit with the faculties in each DSU and FSU. I'm just wondering how you were expecting to go about that and how that would impact your total turnout, honestly, for each event.
Yeah, sorry, are you kind of referring to like when in collaboration with DSUs, kind of adhering to their brand guidelines to make sure whatever collaborative post is on brand and within the guidelines of those DSUs, correct?
It's not necessarily in guideline or on brand, but I guess more appropriate and a little bit more, I don't know, professional. Again, we are super, super close with our deans and our professors, and even SciSpace for science students, we're really close with SciSpace, and we cannot be in association really with posts that are a little bit too much of a party kind of vibe. And that would reflect poorly, even if it's not on our specific Instagram, it would look poorly to have that associated with us for an event. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, great question. I do think we can, even adhering to these guidelines and being on the professional side, we can still produce great content and great marketing materials to promote these events. I'm fully confident there's a lot of ways to generate engaging and funny content while still maintaining professionalism and maintaining good relationship with the faculty. It's just, what in the past, some of our content has been more on like the fun side, but we're fully, if we're able to collaborate DSUs, we're fully able and willing to adhere to those guidelines and make it on brand.
Does
that
that
answer your question?
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi everyone, I'm Ashley from the forum. I just wanted to also add into that. Like Max said, we did have an all ages event for the unboxing, and our marketing strategy for that specific event was quite different than our normal post. So we went with a more professional, different approach, working with a production team called Taiki, going more in the documentary route. So definitely I would say that I'm very confident that our marketing team and just the forum as a brand itself is very flexible, and we are very moldable to, I guess, depending on what the events needs in marketing ways.
I mean, also like bring in like the collaboration piece. We will love to work together with your DSU to bring some ideas to make those happen, to make those content happen and adhering to your needs.
MBB has a direct response.
You mean, oh, okay. Never mind.
My direct response is, I'm just wondering how the engagement was like between those two events. One that was marketing more towards an all ages kind of a style, and one that was, more impacted by having a more professional marketing approach, or was it still relatively okay?
Yes, actually the engagement's been quite good for the unboxing one. It's around the same. There's no noticeable difference. I don't think, engaging content doesn't necessarily rely on whether it's professional or fun. I think that's, if they're engaging, it's engaging.
Does that answer your question? Good, thank you. Moving on, I see a list from CSSS.
I think he can't speak, that's why he wrote.
I'm sure everyone could see the comment, but it seems like they're speaking about they didn't know. Oh, okay. They didn't seem to know that there wasn't an open communication between the SFSS and the forum. They mentioned that the forum events has also made their student experience more enjoyable. Yeah, I'm not too sure if they wanted to add anything to that, but yeah, that was what they said. And then I see another list from VP events.
Yeah, we'll love to like establish a form of communication with the SFSS. I think that would be greatly beneficial for both parties.
Okay. VP events.
I'm guessing this is pretty much a formal conversation. Okay, this one's actually quite something that's coming from experience. So in the past, the forum has collaborated or tried to collaborate with the student bodies within SFSS without any official contracts or documentation that were approved by the staff or the execs. Our bylaws do clearly state that all clubs and student unions do have to have proper legal contracts drafted with any external parties that need to be reviewed and signed by a staff member or an exec. Were you guys aware of this bylaws existence in the past 2 years? You guys have been organizing these events focused around SFU community?
Yeah, so through our communications with the student unions, we weren't made aware that there's a need to sign contracts for these collaborations. And being that this is sort of a minor, more marketing related collaborations, from our side, we didn't see a need to have a contract. However, we're definitely willing in the future to adhere and sign contracts as needed by the SFSS. But however, in this case, we simply just weren't aware, and we apologize for that.
Is there a follow-up on that, or all good? Oh, go ahead.
Another list. I do think you guys said that you guys follow a self-funded model, right?
Yeah.
Just to speak, how does your organization ensure that the money that comes out of events or the revenue generated prioritizes student interests instead of profits?
Yeah, I think I can speak on that from a perspective of our events. through our events, our goal is always to just break even, and we never aim to seek profits, and we reinvest most of our profits generated from events back to our future events. If you ever been to one of our events, I think you can clearly see the level of decoration production that we invest into them. It's very different than if you were to go, say, a clubbing night on a random Friday. If you go to our events, there's balloons, photo booth. We spend most of our money back in our events to make it as the best experience possible for SFU students and for our attendees.
Okay.
For our attendees.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Shatranj?
Okay, this one's the last one for sure. Okay, I'm just gonna be moving forward for more of a productive discussion here. So you guys are here in council. So you are obviously expecting some sort of outcome to come out of this. So what sort of collaborations do you propose that future conflicts are avoided between clubs and the student society or student unions, and all these things are documented properly?
Sorry, to clarify your question, as in are you referring to specific events or, excuse me, channel over communications?
No, just in terms of now that the organization is here, what do you expect in terms of collaborations?
Yeah,
that do not violate any of our bylaws or are papered on and are contracted legally.
Right, we'll love to see if there's what ways we can do to have collaborations, right? We want to gain a better understanding of the processes that is needed to collaborate with SFSS student unions and clubs. For example, you mentioned having contracts as part of your procedure, and secondly is we'll love to see what procedures or processes is needed to collaborate with SFSS directly. And we'll love to kind of establish
just to follow up,
a channel of communication directly with SFSS.
Okay, and just to follow up, what sort of team are you guys leading right now in terms of the number and backgrounds of students / adults that are not part of SFU or any other organization?
Sorry, as in a team of volunteers?
What sort of the number of people that run these events, or what sort of, are they all students? Are they also people from other organizations?
Yes. So to clarify, to answer your question, most of our students are most of our volunteers are SFU students. There's a few students who are just kind of external, helping out with other expertise through their design and marketing from other organizations, but it's mostly run by SFU students.
Okay.
Was yours related to that question? Okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I think just adding on to what Chitranj was saying, it would also help to know what the intent is, because if you're a marketing group, we would react differently or interact differently with you than if you were an event planning group. And, as you are doing the work of the clubs and DSUs and SFSS, you'd be treated as an external. So in terms of venues and things like that, you would be the primary people who would be booking these things. And the responsibility wouldn't fall on the SFSS. So it would be groups kind of working with you on their own terms, and not using any SFSS names, which is fine, but it's still, it would be a forum event, not like a club event or event. So that's kind of one way to go about it if it's on campus versus or off campus, but the liability and all of those things would have to fall through forum in terms of events-based things. If it's marketing, then definitely there would be a contract signed And that could be something that we look at in terms of what you're looking for in return or what you receive in return, and that would of course go through execs and council again.
Yeah, amazing. And yeah, for our events, we're fully willing to take on the liabilities.
Sorry, say that again.
Or for our events, we're willing to take on the liabilities.
But
Okay.
just to clarify, that would no longer be a DSU or club event, it would be a forum event.
Yes, but we also want to inquire what the process, or is there a possibility to collaborate officially with these clubs and as well as the SFSS?
I think the issue there is the liability piece if you're the event planners, because by definition, SFSS is responsible. And so from an event planning perspective, you are a business, you're an external group that you're planning the middle piece, right? So in that case, you're acting as a middle person of organizations within each other. So that's something that I don't know how to figure out legally, like from this perspective right now. From a marketing standpoint, like once again, you're doing the work of DSUs and clubs, but that I could see a little bit more of a clear path in terms of creating a contract to see what kind of services you're providing and how that could be, how that works. And that would also be on a case-by-case basis, of course, going to the execs for approval. But yeah, the event piece is a little bit more difficult just in terms of liabilities and venues on the SFSS's end.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. I'm gonna take one more list and then I'm going to move us right along. Simmer, go ahead.
My list was actually almost the same as Sindhu's, so it might just be very quick. At the start of the meeting, I think we discussed that you guys were more of like a marketing group, and how you guys work is that as you are just a marketing group, the liability of any damages that potentially may happen at, for example, a club, of people that attend are on the liability of the club, and you guys don't take responsibility for any potential like damages, whether that's legally or financially. With the SFSS though, once our name is on something, and you can see this with like club events that we've done, is that we are responsible for any parties attending these events. So I'm just a little confused how that would work collaboration wise, because if SFSS represents and collaborates with something, we do take on liability financially and legally. But I think on your prior points, you mentioned that with you guys, the club takes it on.
Yes, so I think I'm definitely not very fully understand what SFSS process is, but you know, with our collaboration, we're definitely more than willing to purchase event insurance to make sure to minimize the liability on the SFSS, and as well as taking the right steps to make sure all the proper safety procedures are planned out to minimize the risks.
Okay. Yeah, I guess like that's just one of my biggest concerns. I kind of put it in the chat, but I believe Ashley kind of mentioned it. I think it'd be good to collaborate, especially seeing that sometimes even on the same weekend or day, our events do fall under the same time and day. We have the same target market. We would just have to look through the very technical concerns such as like logistics, distributing the work, distributing liabilities, and how that works. But I guess that's my opinion overall.
Yeah, I think with collaboration, we can make our events even bigger and better together.
Okay, Shatran, so I'll allow yours and then I'm moving right along.
This is just like a very follow-up question. Just to follow up on Sindhu and Simmer said. So you guys as an organization are an event planning organization and a marketing organization, and then you are an event planning and marketing organization. Am I on the right track here?
Yes, I think we can serve multiple functions.
Okay.
Was that it? Okay, cool. I would say from what it sounds like, next steps, probably set up a meeting with someone in our executive team, probably VP events, not too sure, but someone on our executive team, and I'm sure our staff will be happy to be there to walk you guys through all the technicalities and all that. But I would say that's probably the next step. I think from what it seems like people just need more. Shatranj?
Just to add on, I think it's something that Sindhu mentioned as well. This is something that needs to be done on a case-by-case basis. if the collaborations do seem successful and we are in business for multiple events, then there would be kind of a mandate, more of a guideline established for contracts and liabilities. But for now, I think it's more of a case by case thing.
Sounds fair to me. Once again, thank you, Forum. Thank you both for joining us today. Yeah, we look forward to, further communication with you guys. And yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you all for listening and for your time and for your questions.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. We have, sorry. Do you want one? Okay, moving right along. We will take a break shortly, but I want to get us through at least reports, and then after that, we just have one discussion item, and then some motion be done for today. With that said, I will move on to VP events. Give us a quick update on what you've been up to.
Okay. Oh, hi, it's me again. Been pretty slow the past couple of weeks. We are mostly working on fall. After the last council meeting, we did host the SFSS Club Night, another very successful event. I think some of you were there. Successful both turnout-wise and financially. We are planning to host more such kind of events. We do look forward to increasing engagement through all kinds of events, and club nights do seem to be a good situation to move forward in. And apart from that, there is a lot of meetings for committees, first meetings coming up in the last 2 weeks, and pretty much just that, and the concert plan, which took most of the time. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, VP Finance.
Other than the usual, there's just two main things that have been my priorities these last 2 weeks. I know that you guys have been looking at the underspent items that I have discussed. I'm starting to work on the orange stuff now, mainly the DSU and FSU spending. Just looking at tracking, something that I want to do and implement is track every single grant till date that has been approved, denied, requested, anything that's been put in, just so we know where we're at with the spending, and then working on a cap on each DSU and FSU, and just creating a strategic plan with them on what spending will take place. Other than that, I've had some clubs reach out regarding sponsorships and collaborations. So just working on that and how that would work logistically and financially with them, and whether that's something that we want to do as a student group is sponsor clubs, because it hasn't been done before. But yeah, just having discussions with them in our initial stages.
Okay, thank you. VP University.
Yeah, both of my committees, the Outreach Committee and the UA Committee, I've got some updates from both of them. The updates from the Outreach Committee are in a discussion item, which I'll do later. But from UA, we're just working on we're working on a few academic events coming up. I'm trying to, I don't remember if I've presented this to council last time. I don't really remember. I'll just repeat it again if I have. At the end of during the finals week, we're trying to provide a study space for all students on the 5th floor. And I also have a backup option if you're not able to do that in the ballroom. Apart from that, town hall, it's almost done. Town hall exec meet and greet. We've got it passed to the committee, and we're just working on setting it up now. So on July 19th, I'll just remind everybody in council that please show up. It's a great opportunity for you to directly ask questions from your executives and also bring forward your concerns and everything. Thank you. Moving on, VP External.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. I feel like VP Events and VP UAA have forgotten how long it's been. So the past couple of weeks, we had one of our big events, which is a club night, which VP Events was very heavily involved in. Spent some time there, helping him there. We had some meetings with SFU staff. We met with, I think, Director of Student Services, Tracy Mason, spoke about a bunch of issues and how the structure of SFU is going to look like and how SFSS can support those initiatives. We've had some background discussions. A lot of the stuff that is getting worked on, the efforts will be seen soon. I'm sure all of you got the brief recently for student care. That was a big one that our team's been working on. Apart from that, I've had my priorities set for external committee during the year. Would love to have more people involved in discussions if they would love to be part of it. And then also had my AVP appointed or almost appointed, so that's great.
Thank you. I'll do mine quickly and then I'll pass it on to Sam. Yeah, mostly been busy with the our restructuring working group for excluded management. That's really what our past 2 weeks has been filled with. So we're doing a lot of internal consultation and external consultations. And then aside from that, just the usual, connecting with people at the university, some people externally. We also met with the GSS, which is the Graduate Student Society. And then of course the usual emails, sign-in stuff, and lots of meetings. Yeah, I think those are the most pressing things. But I think the big thing on our agenda right now is really just concluding the staff restructuring stuff, which thankfully I think by the end of this week we should be done doing interviews with all our internal staff, which is good. With that said, I will pass it over to Sam.
All right, so hope you guys can hear me. Can I get a thumbs up if you can? All right, thumbs up. So first things first, something I've been working on is some stuff with our research team about how the mics and cameras for council will work. And also let me know if you can't hear me at any point. I'm just both doing a mic check and giving my updates. That will be going to Slack. Hopefully we won't have to deal with situations like this again. But after the last time we did put in the switching to the other room backup, so this is what we're doing right now. And then other big things for me, really just echoing what a lot of other people are saying. I've been doing a lot of restructuring working group stuff with Emmanuel. I've been doing a lot of student healthcare related stuff with Joel. I've been working on figuring out policy and how we're going to schedule the policy reviews for the Sierra as there's a number, as well as working on our associate vice president policy and well, those are the main things for me, those areas, although may not sound too fun, I assure you I am enjoying the work. So, and then I also worked with Simmer on finance related things and signing a whole bunch of checks. So that is most of what I have been doing. And given I have seen no massive expressions of shock from Emmanuel as I've been walking around the room, it looks like we have, you're a go for room 4400. or 4440.
Okay, thank you, Sam. With that said, we will take a 5-minute break. Please be back for 7:20. I will take off from there. We just have one discussion item and then 5 motions, 5 or 6 motions, and then we'll be done for today. Thank you, guys.
Could you confirm? Why? Oh, right. Okay. Looks like we're good to go. Hope everyone's back. Rishu, it's over to you.
Is my thing working? I think. Yeah. Okay. Outreach committee, right? Okay.
Do you need to share your screen?
No. I don't really have anything to share. I just it as like a screen, but I just have notes written down here.
Yes, go ahead.
I think this was last week's meeting, and basically the relevant part for council is that the outreach committee has suggested to start a TikTok account for SFSS. We're just trying to start a new platform and whatever. And we are, first of all, we're trying to increase like the reels we make it more like student engagement kind of thingy, like a more little fun type thing, like how the other groups do it. So we're gonna make a TikTok and we're gonna like post the same stuff on IG Reels and TikTok. Maybe TikTok is gonna be a little more fun type thing, a little more casual than Instagram, because I mean our Instagram is pretty professional. I know MBB Ariana also had really good ideas about this. That's one thing. The other thing is that outreach committee wanted to put forward like after every other week, like whenever we have council meetings. We were thinking of putting out a job forum where every committee can just put in their updates, and we can post them on our social medias in like a formal update for the students. I know we do the minutes right now, but a lot of students don't really look at the minutes, and I feel like if it's if the updates, like the main big picture is out there on social medias, I feel like that would be a great opportunity for us to show our advocacy work, events, and all the upcoming things that we do in our committees and council to the students. That's one thing that we want to do. It's like all of this is probably gonna start in fall. I just want to get everybody's opinion about one, the TikTok thing. Second, this idea of posting updates about council and committees on Instagram and other platforms. So I'll repeat, there's going to be a job form that we put out, and all the committee chairs will have access to the job form to put in their committee updates, and we'll just post those updates from council and committees on our social medias. Ariana had a great template that she wanted to talk about in council. I don't know if you have it right now, but I think you could talk about it. I don't know if she's here right now. I can't really see her.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay, perfect. I think you know, right?
Yeah, so this was actually done by Catherine, the sus rep, because I'm also VP Comm. So Catherine, what she did was she made a template of all the main updates from council meetings so that we could really amplify those to the student body. I can totally share it probably another time. I don't have screen sharing abilities at the moment. No, really cute, is very on brand, very on theme. Basically just says, here are the key points we talked about, and then we have a slide basically going a little bit more in depth about each topic and how it really affects students.
This is really just so people can know what's going on. It's quick and easy. Don't have to pay too much attention to it, and it's super duper digestible. And it's there for students. Research director funds.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add one thing. I don't think I should have put in directors, but I just forgot to mention one thing that yeah, we do have things like this before. Like I know that things exist. This is just a more accessible way for all students to take advantage of it. I think just and another way to increase student engagement on our Instagram and social medias. Yep. And thank you, Ariana, for giving us the details.
Jeffrey?
So after this, I noted there was a council policy that said the chair should communicate with the communications coordinator to post draft minutes on the website. Is this possible? Because I'd like to share that with my student union.
I don't think I caught that, but I think you're asking if you could get access to the draft minutes before they're officially published.
Yes, I believe it's an official council policy to do so.
Do you mean the draft minutes from today or just in general?
10.5B says that the council chair should ensure that they communicate with the CC to have the draft minutes posted on the website.
Right. Are you speaking of like council minutes in general?
Yes, in general.
Okay. Like you want that to be done going forward?
Yes, that'd be nice.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure that's something our staff would be happy to do. As long as it's captured in our policy, I have no issues with that. I see it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, great. Jeffrey, that's a great point, and I think that's something that our team noticed as well, that may have been a gap that was happening. I think the reason behind that was because of the lag and back and forth of developing the drafts and actually posting it. At that point, we just already had the final minutes going forward. But I think we can find a way to see if we can post the drafts beforehand. But I think there'll still be the same amount of lag between creating the draft minutes and the final minutes. So that's a process that on the back end that we can work on and we'll figure out.
Thank you. That'd be nice to have. And I understand if it's impractical to post those in the 1 week after a council period, after a council meeting.
Just to follow up, was that like in relation to Rishu's point, or was that just?
Kinda. It'd be nice to have draft minutes posted now, and then we can have a stylized draft minutes later. Because I feel like we would largely base the Insta post on the official record of what happened at the meeting.
Sam?
As as Sidhu mentioned, it's something that like realistically is hard to be able to do immediately. That's why for reporting immediate things to DSUs, it's best to just base it off your own recollection and personal notes as a counselor. With the meeting minutes, we do have to do a number of things, and as vice chair or Prez will tell you that once the meeting minutes have developed, they have been developed, they do need to be double checked for, as you do with any document, run them through a second set of eyes, make sure no typos, and then also making sure that there aren't any like places where the TSSU counselor is mistaken for the ESSU counselor, or that kind of thing, which does take some time. And so getting it out immediately would make our meeting minutes look a little more unprofessional and give a significant time crunch for staff. That means that realistically, it isn't a realistic possibility just for now to have them out like the evening of or like day after. I'd say it would be better to look for a revised timeline on getting meeting minutes out. So then we can aim to make it a more streamlined and faster and rigid process to get it out by the same time each meeting. But like, I don't think an immediate review of the meetings will be what you want as well, because it's a trade-off between accuracy and speed, and I always would err to the side of accuracy on something like meeting minutes.
Thank you. Rishu?
I just had like more fun, like if you're about to do this and like, and at the end of the day, if you're posting stuff that's out, and if you're posting stuff that's like accessible to the general public anyways, it's not in-camera stuff. I don't get like why we need to, why do we even need to stop counselors, and why do counselors need kind of a permission to upload the minutes for their own groups? Like how Jeffrey said, I think they should just be allowed to do it.
Sam? Okay, so I think that's a little bit of a I think we've gotten a little off track from the initial point of the outreach piece. If we want to discuss more about meeting minutes and how meeting minutes go out, that falls very squarely under the governance category. So Jeffrey, if you want to submit that as a item for the next governance committee meeting, it's next Wednesday. I would love to see it there for further conversation. There's nothing stopping councillors from saying anything that is not in camera immediately after a meeting, or giving the meeting minute, giving their, not the meeting minutes, because giving their report of what happened to their DSUs immediately after the meeting ends. The thing with the meeting minutes is that they are our official record of everything that has happened at that meeting. And they are what we go back to for financial motions. They're what we go back to for contract motions to say that everything happened. So whereas it might not, like we can't have a mistake even of like confusing which counselor in who moved and seconded on some of the more important motions, because then it like would invalidate some of our financial stuff if it's a financial motion or that kind of piece.
Thank you, Sam. Jeffrey, you have direct response, and I'm gonna call the question and move on after that one.
Yes, I'll certainly bring this up at governance, because I believe we can abolish this policy if it's impractical to perform it as written. But yes, I think we're free to share notes, and that's fine. I just wanted to see what I could do to help outreach. And I think draft minutes are part of that. It can be helpful.
Great. Yeah, I think like Sam mentioned, whether it's whatever you guys decide to do with the policy, could talk about that governance, and you happen to bring that back to council once you've made a decision. Okay. Any other thoughts on the discussion item itself? If not, I will move on to motions. Okay, seeing none, we have some committee elections today. I think these are mostly due to, I think, some resignations, and then some are just open because those extra spots, I believe. Yeah, first one is the accessibility committee. Whereas per SO 11.5, the selection of students at large and counselors for this committee shall be prioritized to students with lived experiences. Whereas there are 2 seats available for members of council, be resolved to elect Councilor X and Y to serve on the accessibility committee 2024-2025 council term. I move. I need a seconder. Internal second. Floor is open for lists and amendments. Sorry, list and nominations. Again, this is a reminder for those councilors that still don't have a seat on any committee, that this is your chance to join one. If not, we'll be cracking down on you very soon. I see a list from Vice Chair.
Yes, I would like to nominate World Languages and Literature counselor.
Who is that? I don't think it was in the meeting.
Are they in the room?
I don't think they were. As far as I remember.
They happen to not be in the room. Okay, wait.
Who did you nominate?
Wordlet.
Wordlet, are you present? If so, do you accept? I'm gonna guess they're not present. I see a list from VP Internal.
Just for context, what's happening now is we're going through the list of counselors who do not have committees and nominating each of them to a committee. So if you do not have a committee, please do a quick check because you won't have an excuse after this meeting.
Oh, I thought you had some more time before they come cracking down, but looks like today's your day. I see another list from the Vice Chair.
I'd like to nominate REM counselor, Ethan.
Ethan, are you present? If so, do you accept?
Yeah, I accept.
Okay. Again, feel free, you don't have to accept this one. There's still like 3 more today. So if this is not one that you're interested on, there's still 3 more on the agenda for today. With that, I'm gonna ask you again, do you accept the nomination? Considering the other ones on the list for today.
Sorry, can I be a part of multiple?
You can.
Okay, then yeah, I accept.
Okay, great. Another list?
I'd like to nominate Economic Student Society, Hamza.
Econ, do you accept? Econ, do you accept this nomination? I thought I saw.
They're in.
Econ? I can see in the room, but I'm not too sure if you're at your computer or not. I'm gonna guess you're not. Okay, another list.
I'm gonna nominate TSSU counselor. Then.
TSSU counselor, I know this is probably your first meeting, but again, committees are kind of like a subgroup of council with specific mandates and tasks that they carry out. Someone just left. On today's agenda, we have about I think 3 of them. So feel free to either accept this one or any of the other 2 that will be coming up today. But with that said, you've been nominated to sit on the accessibility committee. So TSSU, do you accept?
Sorry, the next two committees, are they the first year engagement and member service?
Correct. I believe there might be some other openings as well. This committee, I think Surrey also has an opening if you're interested in that one. But it's not on the
Oh,
agenda.
I accept accessibility. Thank you.
Great. Looks like we have two people then, so I will move on to, you have a list?
Yeah, I wanted to ask how many committees committees.
How many committees you're expected to sit on?
No,
Oh, in total?
Yeah.
22. 22.
22.
Someone dropped out. Renee's dropping. Yeah. Okay, with that said, I'm gonna move to strike off X and Y and replace it with TSSU counselor and who's the other person that accepted? No, they didn't respond. And the REM counselor, I move, I need a seconder. VP internal seconds. Anyone opposed to this amendment? Seeing none, that's carried. Now I'm seeking unanimous consent on the motion itself to appoint the new members of the accessibility committee. Okay, great. Motion is carried unanimously. Welcome and congratulations. This is you, counselor and Remsel. Moving on to first year engagement. The first year engagement committee is scheduled to coordinate activities and engagement event and initiatives such as community building events for first years. Whereas there's one seat available for members of council, be resolved to allow Councilor X to serve on the first year engagement committee for the 2024-2025 council term. I move, I need a second. Internal seconds, floor is open for lists and nominations. List.
I'd like to self-nominate.
Great, amazing. RHA self-nominates. Any other lists? We could have a debate if anyone is open for that. Okay, I do not see any lists, so I'm gonna move to strike off X and replace it with RHA counselor. I move, I need a seconder. NBB second, anyone opposed to the amendment? Seeing none, amendment is carried, seeking unanimous consent on the motion itself to appoint the new counselor for first year engagement. Seeing none, motion is carried unanimously, congratulations, RHA. Moving on to member services. Whereas per Article 17.1 of SFSS Council Policies, the Member Services Advisory Committee advises on and coordinates society members' services, including clubs, student union, the food bank, thus enhancing the overall member experience. Whereas Article 17.2 to 17.5 of the terms of reference emphasizes the committee's role in advising on service coordination, collaborating with coordinators, and recommending member service policies, reflecting its dedication to improvement and student feedback. Whereas there's one seat available for members of council, be resolved to elect Councilor X to serve on the member service advisory committee for 2024-2025 council term. I move, I need a seconder. CSA seconds. CSA seconds, floor is open for list and nominations. I list, Econ. I would like to nominate the Econ counselor. Econ counselor. Okay. Any other lists or nominations? Well, I do not see any, so we will postpone this to the next meeting. I move to postpone in the second internal seconds. Seeking unanimous consent on this. Seeing none, motion is carried unanimously. Anyone currently present and interested in Vancouver Campus Committee before I You can proceed to read it. Anyone, Vancouver campus? Okay, seeing none, I will also move to postpone this.
Well, I'm part of the committee.
You're on it already? Okay. That's good. Yeah. I'm gonna move to postpone this. I need a second.
CSA second.
CSA second, seeking unanimous consent on this. Seeing no dissent, motion is postponed. I think that was it. Moving on to our last motion for today, no, second to last motion. And this is for the fall concert, which our VP events presented on earlier today. Whereas SFSS aims to foster a vibrant campus community and enhance the student experience through engaging events and activities. Whereas the Fall Welcome Concert is a collaborative effort between the SFSS, SFU, and several SFU departments, which is scheduled for the third week of September 2024 at SFU Burnaby campus, East parking lot. Be resolved that the council approves the proposed Fall Welcome Concert event plan as presented by VP Events and Student Affairs. Be it further resolved that council approve the necessary budget for the Fall Welcome Concert up to a maximum of X, including but not limited to expenses for production, security, first aid, portable washroom, logistical requirements. I need a second.
ISSA.
second.
ISSA second. Floor is open for list, and I'm guessing we're gonna need to amend this motion because it's an X. Amendment, VP Events.
I would like to add an amendment to replace X with $65,000.
I guess you move. I second. Anyone opposed to the amendment? Oh, I see a list from Jeffrey.
I'm not opposed, but can I amend the amendment?
Sure.
I move to amend the amendment to switch east parking lot to south parking lot. If there's a difference.
Actually, I'm sorry. I think the presentation was wrong.
Okay.
When I made it, yeah, it's east. Give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna cross check. I'm confused between parking lots.
VP, turn around the point of information.
Administratively, it'd be easier to do them as two separate amendments.
Okay.
I'll just ask for one to pull out if they realize that is actually an error.
I
It
retract
is.
my amendment.
It is east parking lot, so I don't think there's an amendment needed. Sorry.
Jeffrey, do you mind retracting?
Yes, I retract my amendment.
Moving on, any list or anyone opposed to the amendment to replace X with 65K? Seeing none, amendment is carried. Moving on back to the motion itself. Any list or discussion on this? Is there another? Oh, Jeffrey?
Isn't the total budget of the event $121,000 up to 146?
Correct. I believe that was the total expenses, but I'm guessing they only approved 65 due to what's it called? Sponsorships and things like that. But I see a direct response from VP Events, but I see a point of order in the room.
I'm sure it's probably what Shaitan's just gonna say, but just that the expected expense is the 121K and expected revenue is the 146. As a point of clarification.
VP Events.
So the 65,000 is actually a number that comes out of the deposits that we need to make. Some things that are like marketing and first aid need to be approved 100%, while other expenses such as production, fencing, staging, and artists are something that are only expected to be paid 50% in advance. So the 65,000 number comes from all of those plus a $5,000 contingency, which is added as 8,000 in the original plan. But again, the expenses are gonna be much lower. This is more of the deposits that need to go out for the bookings to be made.
Jeffrey, does that answer your question?
I think so, yeah.
Any other list? If not, I will proceed for a vote. I do not assume that there will be a need for what's it called? A roll call vote, so I will proceed with caution and seek unanimous consent. If you wish to abstain or dissent, please signify if you're in person and those online by using the raise hand function. Is there any online? No. Okay, I guess it's carried unanimously then. Moving on to our next motion, submitted by VP Equity. I'm not sure, there's no title, but I'm sure as live captions. Whereas the accessibility fund was established to help the society increase accessibility of and remove barriers to student society or other campus-related activities for students with disabilities. Whereas the DNA coordinator has submitted a grant application to provide card captioning for DNA meetings and events for the 2024-2025 year. We resolved to allocate 24,000 from the accessibility fund towards the card captioning service. I move. I need a seconder. Internal seconds. Floor is open for list and discussions. VP Internal.
So this is something that's already been approved pretty much by accessibility, I believe, and VP Equity isn't here, so can't make it today, so I'm speaking on it, but it's also.
She came in. But I'm sure.
But anyways, yeah. Pretty much it is a motion that because of the amount of amount it costs is coming to council, but it's already got both staff and accessibility committee approval on it. Just for further context, it's approving captioning for the whole year instead of doing it in like a whole bunch of motions that are just under the allowable limits, I believe was done in the past. Anthea, or would you like to add anything more?
Any other lists? I see Adriana.
Just to add a little bit onto that, DNA has long had memberships of both the executive and membership that rely on services related to being hard of hearing, specifically access to accurate captioning. This is for our bi-weekly general membership meetings, such that every member is able to participate equitably.
Okay, any other list? I do not see any. I will proceed to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent for this. If you wish to abstain or dissent, please signify. Seeing none, motion is carried unanimously. Okay. I will proceed to questions. Any questions before I bring us to a close today? No questions? Great. Moving on, off list. GSA?
Wait, I'm so sorry. Was this for the Q&A section or is this for like the motion earlier?
Q&A.
Q&A?
Motion already passed.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry. I had to like run around, look for my charger because my laptop's at 2%. But I just have a quick question about like I don't think it's as much of a question, more as like I want to like express my thoughts on I feel like there's a lot of like meetings never start on time. I don't know if that's because we don't meet quorum or because there's just like things to arrange and stuff. And also I just wanted to ask about like the purpose of like the whole roll call of attendance at the beginning. And like I guess it can be important for attendance purposes so we can like keep track of who was here and who wasn't. But can there not be like a sign-in sheet in person and then like just typing something in the chat or whatever? It's like just I'm just wondering. So
Of course, great questions. First, I will take your second question first. Maybe yes, for those online, sorry, for those in person, yes, I believe we do have a sheet that we're starting to use now, but even with that said, for those online, we try to make sure that, we ensure that people are actually present. I'm gonna assume, coming to fall with some of the plans that we do have, I think it maybe might be easier to, fly by the intro or the roll call of attendance, because we could physically see that people are present. But apparently there's no way for us to ensure that, the screens. So first, it's a way for us to ensure people are present. But then for me, more personally, I just want to ensure that people are actually, in some ways, being engaged to some extent. And again, it's quite a common practice across, I think, every space that you find some sort of governance being done, just to ensure people are, just present. I see a point of information. Your response.
Yeah, so I think you captured that amazingly. It's actually part of our council policies as well to do that. And it's the idea is to also give everyone an opportunity to share their pronouns and their access needs if there are any. So as Emmanuel said, an opportunity to engage with those and to determine quorum by determining if people are actually here.
Yeah, of course. And then for your first question, why do we start a couple of minutes after? Two things. First, we're still determining quorum, like today. We mostly waited because we're still trying to check the quorum. And then sometimes there's some technical difficulties that we're trying to, navigate. And then thirdly, not today, but some other days, there might also be some delay because the chair as a class, which is myself, right before a meeting. So if you ever see a 5 to 10 minute delay, that could sometimes be because of me, but today was because of we're just waiting for quorum. I hope that answers some of those questions. Any other questions? Perfect. Thank you, Ashley, for the question. Any other question? I do not see any. I will move on to announcements. There's one that was submitted, and then I see that VP Events also just put one in the chat. But I will read the ones that I could see on my end. Student care brief. Is that from VP Equity? Yes, I'm glad. Go ahead.
So when we were approving the health plan, we talked about a campaign around student healthcare and student insurance. So the VP Equity sent out a brief on student insurance and the campaign we're looking to run. I know there's a lot of interest from counselors on being involved. So if you're interested, please take a look at the brief and then send myself or the VP Equity an email about that. And then the second announcement is that we have a sorry, just blank for a second. We have next week's development session is, I will pass that over to Sindhu.
Yeah, so the next two development sessions are from SBSPO. So the first will be responding to disclosures of gender-based and sexualized violence, and the following one is bystander intervention strategies workshop. So the request was that we would make this in person, and we understand that not everyone can be in person. But we really want to focus in on anyone who's putting on large scale events and folks that are volunteering with those. So any AVPs or any other volunteers to attend, so making it open beyond just council. So if you can attend, great. It'll be 90 minutes long each, starting with next week, and then council, and then the following week will also be a development session. If you have any questions about that, please reach out to VP Internal as well.
I'll just add to that, as Cinder's mentioned, I strongly recommend, if you could attend, please do join in person. I believe it's supposed to be an engaging session, so you'd really get the best out of it if you're actually present. And yeah, I would strongly recommend it, because it's gonna be skills that you could use, both during your time on council, in your respective student groups, and also beyond. So it's free, part of the process of being a counselor, so please take full advantage of it. And I have full confidence in the people hosting this session. Amazing people. Is there anything else?
Not on that announcement, just on, there's a draft MOU for between SFU and the SFSS on anti-bullying. It's something that's going to come to council likely next council meeting. We wanted to give you a heads up that that's coming out, and that we are going to be sending out a the drafted MOU confidentially beforehand so that you guys can review it. But we wanted to put that on your radar to look for that email, and so that you knew that this one was coming up before it actually happens.
Great. One more thing, and I'll pass it over to VP Events. I mean, this will probably come to council later as well, but I forgot to mention it during reports. Some of you might already know about it, but SFU will be putting out a demographic survey starting this fall, and they would like the SFSS or council's assistant in promoting that across their spaces. And I'm sure we could probably tell you a little bit more about that in the future once we finalize our thoughts on that. But yeah, that's something else that SFU will be doing this fall. VP Events, last thing from you, and then I will move to adjournment.
I just wanted to add that we know that the frosh and the fall event season is coming soon up. So all of the student unions who are throwing froshes and are gonna get their grants approved in the council, it would be great if you can just run your event plans and expense sheet with me. And then once I have had a thorough review, it's just easier to have them passed in the council. So as to make sure that the budget cuts and deficits we have had this year, the money is being used in the right places. I've already had a couple of them, including CSSS and SAS counselor, approach me regarding it, and I'm available anytime, 7 days a week. Just reach out to me anywhere, and I'll make sure you guys are directed well.
Direct response from OM.
Yeah, sorry. Just to clarify, the process is still that you would submit your grant through the regular grant process, and then if there is an appeal, then you would bring it to council, and then I would recommend bringing that through VP Events at that time.
Amazing. Any final words from anyone?
Oh, one more thing. I'll be working on drafting a working group for the fall welcome concert. So if any counselors or anybody you know is interested, please have them reach out to me. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Anything else? Okay, I will move to adjournment. Gonna move to adjourn the meeting at 8:06 p.m. I need a second. CSA second. Gonna seek unanimous consent to adjourn the meeting. See no dissent, meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys for joining us.